Hi everyone, Michael Cavacini here. I hope you are doing well. So, if you haven't watched it, check out my video talking about Friday in New York when I saw Kiss Madison Square Garden for the very last time. In this video, I want to talk about the pay-per-view. So the pay-per-view was Saturday. So it was night number 2. I came back to Philadelphia to watch the pay-per-view from home. I didn't buy a ticket for the second night. I was lucky to get a ticket for the first night for only $90 all in, taxes, fees, whole shebang. Talked to people who paid $300 next to me for their tickets, which I was like, oof, I felt bad for them. And then other people who spent thousands or hundreds to be in other parts of the arena. So I was very lucky, very fortunate that I got a affordable ticket, especially for Kiss and especially in New York, of all places, for one of their final 2 shows. So the last show I watched from home on pay-per-view. And it was good. I mean, it was literally the exact same show that I saw Friday night. So, if anything, I'm delighted that I didn't pay for it because it's the same damn show, right? It was, and I think that's the way they thought about it, was that, hey, whether you come to night number 1 or you come to night number 2, we're going to give you the same show, which I appreciate because it was, I literally didn't miss out on anything. The only thing I guess you could say that I missed out on was the ending, which frankly I didn't like the ending of the second night. If I had left the concert having witnessed that, I would have been like, oh, that was kind of a whimper to end the show on. If I were them, I would have ended the show with a big retrospective on the band's history, just like a big highlight reel of like kind of the inception of the band all the way up to the conclusion, celebrating all the members, just like a really well-produced like montage documentary type deal with the music and all that stuff, and that would have been like this big like triumphant way to finish. But they didn't do that. Instead, what happened was God Gave Rock and Roll to You played, which it always does, at least on this tour at the end of the show. And before it played, you heard, so you saw the band members on stage, and then there was a bunch of smoke, right? And they were enveloped in the smoke. And then you heard Paul count down or up, like 1, 2, 3, right? And then they played the recording of God Gave Rock and Roll to You, which is weird because like you have him seemingly saying live, the count 1, 2, 3. And then they play the recording of God Gave Rock and Roll to You, which sounded kind of lame because it was like a disconnect between live and recording, which obviously they sounded drastically different. So, and then a video comes on the screen, a basically cartoon character version of Kiss. These Kiss avatars, they're calling them. The new era of Kiss. And so basically they, did the ABBA thing, right? So they went into a studio, they had themselves captured, motion capture, they call it, for the future. What the hell does this mean? It could mean a variety of things, but for example, today in my class, because I'm a teacher, a student presented about Fortnite, and he presented that Rihanna and Travis Scott and whoever else, like these musicians have performed concerts in Fortnite. And I was thinking, Kiss, this is probably exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing these like concerts in video games and all sorts of, or even real life, where they use these avatars. So essentially it's like, this virtual character of them, the Star Child, the Demon, the Catman, Spaceman, whatever, dancing around, playing guitar and doing their thing, to a recording of them singing the songs. So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not paying for that. In Fortnite, it's free, right? It's like a 30-minute concert or whatever with Rihanna or whoever. So really, it's just a promotional vehicle for the band or musician. So I guess this is what Kiss is going to be doing going forward, is doing like these virtual events and things. I saw a fan, Scott Morton, saying that Kiss just wants to work from home now, so that's why they're doing virtual. Which is a good comment. And I guess, like ABBA, they could also do a live show, too, like ABBA did in England, that people buy tickets to, where the avatars are up there doing their thing instead of a real band. Now that, I think, is kind of stupid. I wouldn't buy a ticket to go see that. I don't know, maybe once to see what the hell it's all about, but no one's going to follow an act like that around the country and see multiple dates on a tour for something like that. It doesn't make any sense. Um, it's weird. I think a Cirque du Soleil type of thing would have made more sense, licensing the name Kiss out to do Cirque du Soleil show like Michael Jackson did. I mean, he's dead, but his estate did, right? That made sense. So if I were Kiss, I would do something like that. And they probably will do a bunch of different things like that. I'm sure they're just going to have a bunch of different projects. It's just that these avatars are essentially going to be them going forward in a variety of different projects. In other words, the real guys are retired. They're done. Paul will probably do Soul Station. Gene will probably do Solo Tour. Eric and Tommy, who knows? But they'll do their own projects, and this virtual Kiss will do whatever the hell I guess they wanted to do. How's that sustainable for a long period of time? I have no idea. The thing that's funny is when you watch the video where they have the conversation with the company that created this, the Kiss Monster book is on the table, and they talk about that in the beginning of the video. And it made me laugh because I'm thinking to myself, this project might be just as successful, you know, wink, wink, as the Kiss Monster book, which almost no one bought. I only know one person in the Kiss camp, the Kiss Army, who actually bought that book. One person. I'm sure others did too, but the book was not financially successful. Yeah, I'm sure the band got paid well, but as far as its selling copies, it did abysmal business. So we'll just see what happens. So in other words, the point is if you didn't go to see Kiss at Madison Square Garden because you assumed that they were going to be touring again, you were wrong. They are done. Do I think they'll do one-off shows here and there? Probably not. I think that Paul wants to focus on, having quality time with his family, doing his art, doing his Soul Station stuff. I'm sure Gene will continue to perform as a solo artist, and I assume Eric will be with Paul in Soul Station, and Tommy, I don't know. They can all do what they want. But, these guys are getting up there in age, and we saw with Eddie Van Halen passing away and other musicians passing away that life is short. So I would not assume that Kiss is going to perform again. I would assume that they're never going to perform again as a unit outside of these avatars. So I'm just delighted that I had 20 years with them. And then I got to go on 3 cruises. I got to see them in Madison Square Garden for the final time on Friday. And that, I've seen them 20 times over 20 years. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, I think the whole Avatar thing is kind of dumb. And I don't think it's going to do well. But I'd love to be proved wrong. And if they want to prove me wrong, go for it. I just don't see how it's sustainable. But hey, who knows? They've done crazier things in the past and they've somehow succeeded. So we'll see where it goes. What are your thoughts on this? Feel free to comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. What did you think of the pay-per-view? Did you enjoy it? The only thing I would say about the pay-per-view is that Beth was not included in the replay because Peter is a douche who wouldn't let them use it outside of a live performance. So it wasn't included in the replay. My guess is if they release it as a home video, that also means that they can't include it. I mean, what a shitty thing for him to do to the fans. I understand that he owns the publishing to it, but that doesn't mean that he should screw over the fans just to, spite Gene and Paul. That seems really stupid. Him and Ace are just very, bitter old men when it comes to Kiss, and, always blaming everyone but themselves, so I think it's pretty crappy for him to withhold Beth from replays, and I assume the home video version of this. All that does is just screw over the fans, and paints him in a bad light. So I don't get it. I guess it's the only thing he has left of Kiss, so he just clings to it for no good reason. But anyway. What are your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time? Were you at night number 1 or night number 2? If so, share your stories down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, visit me at michaelcavacini.com for more great Kiss content, including you will get very soon a bunch of videos, photos, stories, and more from my time in New York, seeing Kiss for the final time, and my first time being at Madison Square Garden. So lots of stuff to share. So make sure to check all that out. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've had a good time with the band, as good of a time as I've had over these past 20 years. So thanks so much. Have a great day. And go play some Kiss in honor of their 50 years. What an amazing run they've had.